Hey, my kingdom family, how we doing today, baby? Today, for Three Crowns conversation, we're going to have a conversation that nobody likes to talk about. This is something that is like people go out of their way to avoid, okay, kings and queens. But of course, here at Three Crowns Convo, because we keep it 100 and we're actually forward thinking because we want to make changes in our life. We don't want to stay stagnant, and we for damn sure are not like other people. We want to have this conversation about pain. All right. The pain that we go through, kings and queens, a lot of people look at it as a negative thing. I go through pain, it was painful, and it destroyed me. And they always have like a long story regarding, the different things that pain took them through. But a lot of people don't look at pain as something that is actually a very powerful thing that is necessary in our lives, because we go through pain to actually learn lessons. We go through pain to actually elevate in some type of way. We also go through pain to mature us in some type of way. And so it is very difficult for me individually to actually look at pain as just something that is bad. I also look at it as something that is good, because you can grow from pain as well. People don't like to talk about the pain. They like to avoid it, because some people cannot actually handle the pain that they went through, or they don't want to acknowledge it because it reminds them of it all over again. And some people are not mature enough to stop reliving their pain. Okay. So what they do is anytime they think about their pain, they become a victim of their circumstance. Or they'll try to utilize it for, to get some type of sympathy from people. But when you actually are a mature person, you'll look at your pain and understand how powerful you are out of your pain. God wanted us to go through pain. Whether you want to accept it or not, it was necessary. A lot of people in the Bible went through a lot of suffering before they became great. And so if you ever think about your suffering as just a negative thing and woe is me and I'm broke down and everything always happened to me, I want you to also keep in mind of a lot of people in the Bible, a great majority of them went through a lot of pain. And to be quite honest with you, they went through worse pain back then than you are going through now. Y'all complain about the little bitty shit, the little tiny pain that y'all go through, not understanding that it could absolutely be a lot worse. Okay, if God actually applies some pressure on you, the pain that you're going through is minimum compared to what you could go through. All right, a lot of the pain that I went through in my life, a lot of people wouldn't survive half of it, 1/4 of it actually. They wouldn't survive it. All right, only the strong survive through a lot of the pain that you actually go through. But like I said, I don't look at pain as a negative thing. I look at it as a positive thing. So my thought about my pain that I went through is, okay, all the pain that you went through and you survived through, well, how can you actually take that pain and help some other people so they don't have to go through that type of stuff that you went through, because they'll probably die. Like they'll literally just die. And I don't want nobody to die. So I was like, okay, I have to use this pain for something. I got to use this pain to help people so they don't have to actually lose their life going through what I went through. Real talk. Again, pain is power. Now, at a certain point of your pain that you have survived, God will say, because you endured so much in my name, I am going to elevate you and promote you because you were resilient, okay? And so you have spiritual rank from that. You actually have a high level of protection from that. And, you know, when people think about protection, they be thinking that they need to go get them a gat or something and need to protect themselves. But spiritual protection is on a whole nother level from those physical tools. This is of the highest reverence and respect that God gives you, and He makes sure that you are protected in all aspects of your life. Okay? And so you want that. You want God's backing, because God is the creator of heaven and earth. He is the one who actually gives life and takes life. Okay? And so if you think about it from the vantage point of, yeah, there's guns out there that people shoot and, you know, they protect themselves with. But what about all of the arrows and the bullets that you can't see? Who's going to protect you from that? Who's going to protect you from the storms of this life? Okay? And so if I have God protecting me from things that I can't even see, that are far more worse than a bullet, I'd rather have that. All right? I'd rather have God backing me up. Okay? And so, yeah, I'm going to endure some things because I'm going to need to be protected on the highest level, because I'm important, because I am royalty, because this is my just due. Okay? And so if I have to go through different tests and trials and a lot of pain to get to this point, to the point where I'm respected and protected, then that's what I prefer to do. It's a lot of everyone walking around right now that do not have the protection that I have. They didn't go through what I went through. They didn't even go through what they were supposed to go through to actually get to this point. And so when you're looking at people, you look at, okay, well, damn, they done been through a lot. How are they still standing? How are they still smiling? How are they not dead? How are they this? How are they that? They are still standing and still smiling because they have God's protection. All right? A lot of people can't just sit up here and go through a whole bunch of people just molesting on them. A lot of people can't go through abundance of witchcraft and voodoo since they was a baby and actually be at the age that I am right now and still live. A lot of people will go crazy being personally attacked by strangers and by family members and by friends, fake friends and fake exes. A lot of people wouldn't be able to deal with that mentally, is what I mean, or emotionally, going through betrayal after betrayal, after betrayal, and just being beat up by life. You know, a lot of people can't handle that. You see it on a regular basis. People go crazy. They commit suicide on live and all that kind of stuff. This is a real thing, you know. So once you learn all the painful things that you've been through, you can actually switch them over to power and you can take back control of your life. Then that's what you actually do. But you have to have the knowledge behind that. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you guys throughout this series of turning your pain into power. I'm going to teach you how to become stronger, okay? Because a lot of you guys are not strong. You're very weak, okay? And it's not because you did anything wrong. You're weak because you were never taught to how to fight for yourself. You were never taught how to actually take your pain and utilize it for your good, okay? And actually utilize it to actually have the type of life that you desire to have. Your pain is going to be your key, your master key to actually having elevation in your life as well. All right. It's not fun. I'm not going to sit up here in front and pretend like it's fun. Ain't nothing about this shit fun. Okay. Ain't nothing about it funny either. Especially when you're dealing with people that will laugh at your pain. When you're dealing with people that will actually do everything they can to put you through pain. Nothing's funny about that. Okay? Nothing is fun about that. It is actually pretty pathetic, and it actually can mess with you mentally if you're not mentally strong. And so if I can teach you guys through my pain how to actually become mentally strong, then if you encounter pain, you will know how to actually transmute it for your good, okay? Because that's what we're doing. We are transmuting our pain and making it work for us, okay? We're not going to just go through pain and allow it to take over us. We're not going to allow pain to actually make us its bitch, okay? We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to tell pain, I went through this shit, and I am going to now utilize my pain to benefit me in all aspects. It's my pain, so it needs to be benefiting me in some type of way. I'm not going to just sit up here and let my pain destroy me. All right? I'm not going to let it sit up here and stress me out. I'm not going to let any type of depression or any type of, resentment or envy or anything change to make me have a black heart. I'm going to take my pain and give me a red heart. I'm going to take my pain and I'm going to love even harder. I'm going to appreciate my pain, if you will. Because my pain has grown me to, instead of it growing me to 100%, it grew me 1,000%. It showed me some things. Not only about other people, but it showed me something about me that nobody can ever stop or penetrate or even try to emulate, okay? The pain that you go through, nobody else is going to go through that same exact pain. They may go through similar things, which I strongly doubt. But, for the sake of just talking, they may go through some things that's similar that what may resonate with your pain. But at the end of the day, they haven't went through the pain that you went through. So they don't know what you've endured. They don't know how you felt. They didn't know your emotions behind it. They didn't know exactly what the pain actually did to you mentally. They don't know anything about that. All right. And so for people to try to be in someone's shoes, especially when it comes to pain, and I'm quick to bust you out. Like, bitch, don't fucking be jealous of me on no level because of my pain. All right. The person I am today is because of my pain. How dare you be jealous of my pain like you went through my shit with me, like you were there, And so I look at people when they try to be compared to me or, it just try to act like they can, walk a day in my shoes. And I'm like, no, you will never be able to walk a day in my shoes because you didn't see what I saw throughout the pain. You didn't go through the places that I went going through pain. You didn't deal with the people I dealt with that was trying to put me through pain. You didn't deal with any of it. All right. And so you don't get permission. All right. I take my permission back. You don't get permission to get any type of credit for my fucking pain unless you are me. All right. So kings and queens, that's what it needs to look like. You're taking your power back and letting everybody know, look, this is my circumstance. This is my situation. You don't get any type of honor or integrity or morals off of the way that I carried myself through pain. You can never be me. You would have to go through your own pain and be you. And so when it comes to my spiritual rank and the different things that I endured, that's when God will promote you to the level that you're supposed to be promoted to, depending on what pain you actually went through. Okay, kings and queens? I don't want you to ever think that pain doesn't hurt. It does hurt. All right? But pain also is very, very beneficial to you as well. It gives you benefits that no one would ever be able to get unless they went through some pain and suffering. The benefits are worth the pain. All right, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. The benefits are worth the pain. You heard it correctly. What God has for you on the other side of your pain, nobody could ever reach that unless they go through what you have went through. Okay? And so, would I do it again? Would I go through pain again? Of course. I would. I would, because I'd rather be who I am today than who I was before. So I would absolutely go through the fire again, be refined, be burned, be abused, be whipped, and everything else I went through. I would absolutely go through that again to come out to be who I am today. I would never, ever, ever want to stay the same like before. Never, 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 never. When I was going through a lot of my pain, I was attracting a lot of people that were broken and just fucked up ass people. Well, now that I'm out of my pain, I am now able to attract good and wholesome people. Okay, these are genuine people. These are not people that you're just going to be dealing with on a roundabout thing like you're dealing with today. No, these are people that have literally went through pain themselves and can resonate with my pain in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And they absolutely are in the position to never go back again because they remember. Okay? So I'd rather be around people that have went through the same or similar or whatever the case may be, their own individual pain. I'd rather be around them than to be around a whole bunch of people that haven't went through shit, because they don't understand reality. They don't understand, the suffering of it, if you will. They don't understand it. So it's like dealing with them is foreign. They're foreigners to the pain. All right? You don't want to ever deal with any type of foreigners to your situation unless they can resonate with you in some type of way. All right? Because if they can't resonate with you, then they're going to be looking at you out of the eyes of judgment, number one. They're going to be looking at you out of the eyes of confusion. And they're going to be looking at you out of the eyes of curiosity. And to have people curious, confused, or judging you in some type of way, it can become annoying, but it doesn't matter if they judge you or if they're confused or if they're curious. It doesn't matter because they will never be able to understand. And wasting time with people that don't understand is a waste of time. All right. We don't waste time here at Three Crowns Convo. We don't waste time at all. We actually do everything that is going to be valuable and beneficial to our elevation, and that's period. Okay? And so what I said to God, kings and queens, I'm keeping 100 with y'all. I asked God to put everybody through some pain, because I feel like putting people through pain, I feel like they come on the other side of that thing better people. We take life for granted and everything that God has gave us. So I said, God, just go ahead and put everybody through pain. Bring them to their knees so they can look up again and see you, instead of thinking that they are God or thinking that they're bigger than the pain and all this kind of stuff and it'll never happen to them. Humble them in the worst way possible so they can see what it is. All right. And then they'll have a reverent respect for life and for you. And so I did. I asked God to put people through pain. I think it's necessary for everybody. Go through some pain. Yeah, feel this, touch this. All right. And see if you survive. Because it's a whole bunch of tough guys out here. It's a whole bunch of big and bad people out here, They get a little money, they think they hard. They get a little muscle, they think they hard. They get a little position, they think they hard. They get in groups and flock around like them Masons, Freemasons, and them Eastern Stars. They get in groups, or the Illuminati, and they think they have some power. They summon up a couple, entities or whatever and do a little bit of dark magic and they think they hard. No. You'll be humbled. You'll be on your knees. Yeah, you're going to go through some pain. You are. And then you'll be able to see out of the same eyes that I see out of. And if you make it through, which I'm going to say good luck with that, then maybe you'll be able to understand things from my perspective for once. Okay? A real perspective. Not an illusion. Not a facade. Not entertaining the masses for the sake of entertainment. This shit is real. And it's real painful. And I feel like everybody needs to understand it from the pain instead of everything else they've been understanding it from.